Hey guys, it's Mark with Machine Tool Emporium. We're on location in Shelbyville, Kentucky to visit BBM Machine. This company makes CNC routers and saws for the stone cutting industry for granite countertops and things of that nature. I wanted to show you around the plant, show you what we do here in Kentucky and what we're capable of. So let's go inside and see what Brian's up to.
I mean, our mission was pretty simple. You know, we started as a refurbishment company and was seeing all the problems in the industry, so we figured we could just do a better job. So our standards are extremely high, you know, and that comes from me working on machines basically my whole life. We used a little bit of that background, a service background, and put all that together and try to, you know, live up to our name of Better Built Machines. So I always compare, you know, our product to the difference between like buying a Toyota car or buying a Mercedes car. Like we are the premium, the high-end brand, mainly because we've been out there working on them forever, and we want to make sure that, you know, the end user's not out there working on their machine. Like, right. It lasts a long time, right. 20 plus years, and that's what we try to live up to.
And so you've got the Paladin, the Dominator, and the third one, I can't remember. Defender. Can you briefly tell us the difference between those three models?
So the Paladin is our #1 product. You know, that's a 14-foot by 8-foot table cutting surface, you know, which is big, say, for the metalworking industry. For the granite, it's where you need to be. You know? So all our machines are purposed for granite cutting.
Okay. So why is it 14 foot? Is that standard counter?
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure that you get a good solid run on the table. So it's usually around 3 pieces. You're running about 30 square feet or something per run.
Is there a standard size in the granite industry? Like most, you know, sheets of plywood, 4x8 or?
Yeah, I mean, the largest size table on cutting is like 144 by 86. So that's your sheet of slab. You cut those out, and you want to make sure you have enough table bed to get all that on.
Inconel and Hastelloy and all that stuff is going to be much harder. Do these machines care? They probably don't care if it's marble, granite, whatever. Is there?
Not really. And like our 5-axis product that we just introduced, the Dominator, which is a 5-axis saw, it has. It's actually called cruise control. So it's monitoring the saw blade and the load and the machine functions and adapting itself automatically to those different materials. So if you're cutting a really soft marble material, it's going to reach its target amperage feed rate, your maximum feed rates that you set, versus you're running something like quartzite, which is like literally like steel.
Is it really that?
Yeah. So if you set it to, say, hold 25% load, it's going to run up to your 25% saw load and start backing your feed rates down to kind of match that.
Oh, so the machine's going to automatically tune to that.
You know, like our Dominator is now the first CNC machine in America, or first 5-axis CNC saw in America that contains its own water, complete galvanized frame and table.
The table is completely galvanized. Can you show us that real quick? Is this the standard Z height? Would this be Z?
Yeah, Z.
I didn't know if on the table if this is still Z.
Yeah.
So the whole table, is this, what's the tabletop? It's not T-slot. It's just a flat.
Yeah, this is a flat PVC type table. So.
Oh, this is PVC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we actually adhere a rubber surface to that, and that's what the granite sits on top of the rubber. So you're cutting it face up, and you have a rubber surface that is sitting on top of, and that keeps the slabs from moving. And the water just goes off into the troughs on the side and exits.
And all the galvanizing's done here in the area?
It's all done in the United States. Yeah. So we dip the entire frame in one piece into the galvanizing tank.
How long does something have to sit in the galvanizing tank?
I think it's relatively fast. I'd love to tour the facility to see it.
That's a nasty industry. Yeah. It's a caustic industry is what I've heard, but that's really cool. So you've got 5-axis head here, and that's just for a saw. But if somebody, let's just say a metalworking guy wanted to put a spindle on this, could you have a 5-axis spindle on here?
Yeah. I mean, this is basically designed just like a 5-axis. You know, you have your C rotary here. You would just remove this section, put a 5-axis head on, and you've got a 5-axis machine. You know, machine's extremely rigid. You know, it's all solid one-piece frame, solid bridge. This machine's unique because you have a CA axis, and then you also have 2 spindles that drop down on each side. So one's a high-speed spindle, 12,000 RPM, and one is a low 3,000 RPM.
What is the low better for?
It's
Deeper
for
cuts,
milling and drilling. So
Okay.
if you're, if you're planing down your slab of your granite and you want to go from 3 cm to 2, you could put like a 6-inch milling wheel on it and plane the whole entire slab.
And are you doing that on the top cut, or are you doing it on the underside if you're milling down?
You would do it on the other.
Underside, that's what I figured, yeah. Because once it's polished, you guys aren't ever polishing again.
Not on this machine.
Right.
Yes.
Do you make a machine that could polish if you
Not
want?
top polish, but it could be coming in the future.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Stay tuned. And this MSRP on this, roughly
You're roughly looking at about 240.
$240,000 for a 5-axis with a saw, 2 spindles, FANUC control.
Everything's fan control.
FANUC control, galvanized frame, and if somebody wanted, they could have a chip conveyor added, or an ATC, or a 5th axis head. What kind of spindles? Any spindle you want, you can put in there.
Yeah, we build our own spindles at BBM, so this actually has a 12,000 RPM spindle, that direct drive FANUC motor that we built in.
Just asked Brian about the pricing of this machine. He told us $240,000, which in the metalworking industry, a machine of that size and capability is an unheard of price. That's just a crazy good deal. And his competitors, he told me, are importing these machines at around $180,000 to the end user. And how is it, in your opinion, that an importer or somebody overseas can make that machine and import it into the United States cheaper than you can build it?
I honestly don't know how they're doing. I mean, the tariffs actually helped us a little bit because they're not getting away with importing them in so cheap. So the tariffs increased their pricing, which made our machine look a little more attractive.
A lot more attractive. And your machines are essentially 100% made in the United States. The frames, the spindles, all that stuff. You might have a couple foreign parts, but the majority of it's made in the United States as opposed to the competitor.
I mean, everything but bearings, rails, ball screws, and control systems. Those are extremely hard to get in the United States.
Right.
We use FANUC mainly because it's the best control system in the world. Like a 50-year mean time replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked on machines that were made in 1990s, and FANUC has a part on the shelf.
Yeah.
So that means a lot to us.
So here in the best machine you've ever bought, this machine here is actually how Brian and I first met. I sold him this machine a few years ago. This really nice Haas EC1600, and it looks like you're milling maybe the slideways and the assembly for the spindle.
Yes, yeah, all those Z plates for the pallet are made on this machine.
Unreal. Has it been a good machine for you?
It's been great.
Good.
Yeah.
It does look really good though.
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
We saved a fortune buying it, honestly.
I know, that worked out so crazy.
Yeah.
You called and it was here
to
in
find a
town.
machine within 20 miles from us, the exact machine model that I needed. How many machine tool manufacturers in the United States or anywhere do you think actually make their own spindle?
I would say 1 or 2, I would guess.
So I know one, Haas Machine Tool.
See, I was thinking Mazak.
Mazak does not actually.
Mazak doesn't. No. So Haas makes their own spindles in California or wherever they make them in the United States, and to your knowledge, that's the only other?
To my knowledge, Haas is the only one that I believe is fully making their own spindles. So I'm a big fan of Haas. Obviously, you can see all of the Haas machines out. So I love everything they do. I love their marketing. And they really are made in the U.S. So I have a big spindle background. I've been to Italy multiple times for training on spindles. So we kind of took that knowledge, and also we've been rebuilding spindles for the last 10 plus years as BBM refurbished machines.
Right.
So we kind of took all that knowledge and decided to make the move to just build our own spindle here, which sounds insane.
It is insane for pretty much anybody else that doesn't know about spindles and the precision and the accuracy that you have to have. Climate controlled rooms. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that this is the heart of the machine. I guess the control would probably be the heart of the machine, but if this isn't running right, nothing's running.
Nothing's running.
This is a critical part, and you took it upon yourself to do this in-house. So show us real briefly the spindle room and kind of talk about what you're seeing out there, because obviously this industry is extremely corrosive with the amount of water you're running.
So everything is stainless steel. The housings, the shafts, all the parts inside. You can see all these pieces, these nuts, bearing spacers, everything we're making. Obviously, you don't make bearings,
right?
But even our air shields, all this is designed by us. So we blow air into the spindle. You're bearing air to positive air pressure to keep the contaminants out. So this was, basically it was my decision to do this because we were buying spindles from overseas, just like everybody else does, and we wanted to make changes and they wouldn't do it. We basically was like, all right, let's just cut the middleman out. All right, shipping was insanely expensive. We would order 3 to 4 spindles at a time and paying $7,000 air freight to get a spindle.
Oh my God!
For a box of 3 or 4, and they couldn't ship any faster because they were backed up to lead times. So grouped up, we're like, all right, let's build it and see what happens. So I would say the first spindle that we built probably cost us over $500,000.
Holy cow.
So for the engineering, the investment, the CNC machine, we bought a lathe just to do this, the 3-axis live tooling lathe. So this is actually the entire shaft.
So this is turned.
The easy part's on the outside. All this down inside here is the hard part. So you're machining
the taper and everything.
Yeah, we're doing all this. So there's real small grooves. Takes special tooling. I mean, every carbide bar that we had to buy, made custom. We finally figured it out. It wasn't easy by any means, but now we have full control, and we have bragging rights basically that we do this. There's a lot of people that say we don't. Which I love that because
it's going to be easy to prove them wrong. So this spindle is in production, or is this just to show you what's going on?
This is a direct drive spindle for another machine. So we also build spindles for other companies too.
Oh, you'll contract or white label spindles?
Yes.
So if somebody wants a spindle, they can reach out and give you the specs.
These are our spindle housings for our custom 12,000 RPM spindles that you saw on the Dominator. So all this is made in-house too. This is a customer that we support. This is a 50 taper belt drive spindle actually. So we keep one on the shelf for them all the time. For that guy. Just for their service.
And he's in the stone business as well?
Yes.
I've been saying for the last few years that service sells machines. Yeah. It doesn't matter. People ask me my opinion on a machine tool builder, and my answer is always the same as who's the best support in your area, because Mazak, Okuma, all of these guys build great machines, but if you can't service them, it doesn't matter.
That's very true.
And different geographies have different support levels based on their user base. So an Okuma guy in Florida might love their service guy, but an Okuma guy in Texas may say they're the worst ever. So it doesn't really matter if you can't service your machine. So the fact that you take service and support and make it forefront in your customer dealing is really telling on your growth and all that kind of.
It helped a lot when we started building CNC machines from scratch. So if we didn't have a service company and we weren't doing that in the past, it's been really hard for somebody to invest in to say, well, that's the first machine you ever built. But
right.
Since our service background was so strong, when we basically introduced to people, hey, I'm about to build a CNC machine, they were lined up to buy it.
So we're on site at Elite Stone in Shelbyville, Kentucky, just around the corner from Brian's shop. He wanted to show us one of his Paladin machines in operation. So where does the runoff, when you're cutting these machines, I guess it's not creating chips, not much chips or dust.
Yeah, so it's really creating mud, like a slurry.
Yeah.
So on the Paladin machine, the drains are sloped. So all that mud is going into these drains, and it's all getting flushed out of these sloped drains into a trough in the floor. It all goes back to a recycling system in the back.
So they'll recycle the water. Is that pretty common in this industry? So this is a standard cutting tool or a burnishing tool? Or? So what is this, a route for an edge? Or?
So this is really just for like the metalwork industry, this would be an end mill.
Okay.
So this is sizing the part down.
Okay.
So it's bigger in diameter, it goes faster, it takes off more material. It's all diamond cutting.
And that's dual contact BT40, or BT or it's CAT?
This is CAT 40.
The CAT 40 dual contact.
Yeah. So everything's held down by vacuum. So it's got a vacuum pump that sits behind the machine. These vacuum hoses go to a manifold. On the machine, it controls the bottom of the pod and the top of the pod. So once the laser that you see above,
Yeah, that's
You
what we
know,
were talking about earlier.
you
So
line
you know,
you line the pod up. This actually doesn't even fit this. So, you can line this up to the crosshair on the pod. You lock the bottom of the pod down, and then when you put your material on, it shows the material shape, and then you lock the top of the material.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for
Yeah,
everything. I
no
really
problem.
appreciate you showing us around, showing us your shop, and bringing us out onto the field here at Elite Stone. So thank you to Elite Stone for allowing us to come in here, see your wonderful facility. And yeah, if you guys think that BBM might be a fit for what you're looking to do, whether that's in the stone cutting business or potentially in the metalworking business, hopefully we get some metalworking guys that see something of interest. Give Brian a call. All the info will be in the link below. So thanks for watching.
All right, thank you.